Hello, this is the Cobra MX460SPH, which is an 18-inch rotary mower with a Honda engine, and it's all packed inside this cardboard box. So what we're going to do is open it up, take everything out, and I'll show you how to put it together so you can be mowing your lawn in no time. Well, here it is, all unpacked from the box. So we've got the main mower unit here, the petrol mower here, just needs minor assembly of the handles. We've got the grass collection box, again just a little bit of work to do on that. We've got the nuts and bolts that are necessary to hold everything together. This is for when we talk about how it mows, the side discharge flap, and we've got two manuals. We've got the mower manual and a Honda engine manual. So that's it. So what we'll do to start with is we'll put the handles together and then we can put the grass box on. So very simple to do. It's just a case of lifting this piece over, and I'm just going to lay that down there for the time being. And then this piece will fold on. It's already got a bolt there, so it's just pivoting over, and we've got two holes here, and we can choose which one we use, and that's so we can adjust the height of the handlebars depending how tall you are. So I'm just going to take one of these nuts and bolts here, and what we do is we put the bolt from the outside inwards. It's got a curve there which will fit around this tubular steel, so it's just pushing that through, lining that up with the hole on the frame. We can then pop on the flat washer and then tighten this black knob. Okay, so nice and tight there to hold that in place. So that's rigid already, and then it's just a case of repeating on the other side. So that is nice and secure now and in place. So now it's a case of fitting the top. So I'm just going to get these ready, make it a little bit quicker. So we can just offer this one up. Again, it's all pre-drilled and the holes are there in position. We just need to make sure that we don't trap any cables while we're doing this. Gareth, could I just get you just to hold that? It is a little bit easier if you've just got another pair of hands just to hold that. So again, it's the bolt from the outside through, and then we can put the washer and the knob on and tighten it. And of course, for storage, if you want to fold this top part of the handle down, you just slacken this off and just tighten that up there like that. So that's it, that's the handle now in position. What we have got to do is just to connect the cables at the top, just spring it out, it is spring loaded, feed that in like that, and then spring it back in. So we've now got the tension on there, and it's a case of repeating the one at the back. Just gently pull it out of the hole, get the cable, feed it through like that, and then pop that back into its hole like that, and again that one is now spring loaded. And finally we've got the cables here. I'm just going to take off the cable clip that's already been cut, take off the cable clip here that's been fitted already, just clip that off, get the cables in order. Easier to put the cables into the clip first and then just clip it on to make sure they're in the right location. So they're nicely out of the way and tidy and not flapping around. So that is it, except for fuel and oil, which we'll do in a second. What we can look at next is the grass collection box, and it's partially assembled. All we've got to do here is I'll just take the oil out there. All we've got to do is to clip it onto the frame, which is very simple. It's just a case of opening up these clips and fitting them around the frame like that. So it's just a case of that one on there, and then turn it upside down to do this one, and just have to stretch it a little bit, and then that will just very simply slide your thumb in there. There we go, like that. So that's tight all the way around, so that can go on the back of the mower. Now that fits here. You'll notice in your bag of nuts and bolts there are two little plastic lugs like this. There's 2 little slots there, just push them into it, and then the box will just simply hook on like that, lid down. So that is now ready. So what we can do is get some oil and fuel in it, and then we can start it up and do some mowing. Remember, this mower comes with no oil in there at all, so you can't start it until you've put the right amount of oil in. That is really, really important, and all the instructions are in the manuals. But here we've got the dipstick, so we need to take the dipstick out, and we can see that that is totally dry, no oil at all. So I'm going to pop that there. The mower comes with a bottle of oil, the correct oil. This is 0.6 of a litre, but the mower only needs 0.4. All the instructions are in the manual, so please do read it. So we don't need to use all of this. So what I'm going to do is take the top off and then just take the seal off. This is a new can of oil, so we can just take this foil seal off. And then we can gradually pour the oil into this hole here, so nice and steady, and we need about 2/3 of this, 0.4 of a litre. Now what we need to do is to keep checking that when we think we've got roughly the right amount in, and I'm just going to check on the side of the bottle there. I think that needs just a little bit more. It's easier to put more in than it is to take it out, so we'll just pop that there for a second. We'll get the dipstick and the cloth, and then always check it with the dipstick screwed down as well. So screw that back into position, and then, now bear in mind this will take a couple of minutes to completely settle down into the engine, but already it's just starting to register on the dipstick there. So what I'm going to do is pop that back in there for a second, just to allow that to settle, and then what we can do is we can put the fuel in here. So this is the petrol cap here. So this is just ordinary unleaded petrol that you buy from your petrol station. Always use fresh petrol. If you've got some that you've had in a tin in the garage or the shed for 6-9 months, don't use that. Fresh petrol makes the engine run much smoother. So we're just going to pour some petrol into there. Pop that on there. Tighten that on straight away. And then we can just double check the oil, and I think looking at the gauge on there we should be about right, but if not, add a little bit more until we get it. And what we want it to do is to show on these little grid system just there, the oil needs to be at the top of that, so literally that line at the top of that crisscrossy bit on the dipstick. So what we do is put it into the hole, screw it down, and then take it out, and we can see there now. This is fresh oil, so it's quite hard to see, but it is just to the top there, which is perfect. If it was any lower, add a little bit more. We don't want it above that level, otherwise it could damage the engine. So it is critical that you get the right amount of oil in there. So that's it, we're all fueled up now. New fresh oil, fresh petrol in there. We'll lift it down, and then we can go through the starting procedure. So we've got the mower now on the lawn ready to start it. Just before we do, just a quick mention about the different mowing methods that you can use. It's what we call a 3-in-1. So you can cut the grass 3 different ways to suit the situation. Traditionally, what we would tend to do is to mow and collect the grass clippings so we can get that lovely finish on the lawn. And that's why we've got this quite large grass box on the back that just sits on the back. So we would just put that on the back and we would mow until it's full. When the mower comes, you'll notice inside there's a black plug in the back, which is called the mulch plug, and this is for the second method of mowing. So we wouldn't use the grass box in this situation. We would fit this into the back, so it goes in there and it clicks into position, and to get it out you just squeeze the handle and take it out. And what that does, it stops the grass being blown out of the back of the mower into the grass box. Instead, it chops it very, very finely underneath the deck, and it blows it down into the cover of the grass. Really fine, it rots down quickly, it releases nutrients, so it disappears from sight, and it helps to keep the lawn really green, lush and healthy. As long as you mow little and often, that is the secret. So we can collect, we can mulch, or we can use a side discharge. If the grass is a little bit longer, you've got some wild area with wildflowers or between an orchard and you let the grass grow but you want to then chop it down, what we can do is we fit the mulch plug in the back to stop it being thrown out the rear of the machine. We lift this flap just here, there's a release button on there, so we just lift that, spring loaded, that fits into there, and then the spring loaded lid holds it into place and the grass is thrown out the side, this right hand side of the mower into rows, so it's easy then to rake up. So you've got the three options there for mowing. So what we're going to do is we can take the mulch plug out for now because we're going to put the collection bag on, and then we can do some mowing with it. So pop that into there, get rid of those out of the way. Just a little reminder also, we've got clean fuel in there, petrol. There is a fuel tap there, petrol tap. It's in line, which means if it's in line with the pipe, it's on, it comes in the on position, but just in case somebody should turn it off like that, it means you won't be able to start the mower. So if you've got a problem, just check that that is turned on like that. Before we start it, what we need to do is just pull out the recoil, take off this label here. This is something you do need to keep because it's got your engine numbers on, so put that with a manual for when you're wanting spares. Just pulling in this top lever here just takes the compression off the engine. Just pull that very slowly. We're not trying to start the engine at this stage. Loop that round the little pig's tail bracket there. And that's in position for when we do come to start the mower. Finally, we're almost ready to start the mower. It comes from the factory and packed in the box on the lowest setting for height of cut. So we need to raise it off the grass. If we tried to start it now, it would just scuff this lawn. So I'm just going to lift it up on the lever here so that we can see that there's some clearance underneath the mower, so it makes it easier to start. And that is it. We are now ready to go. So to start this engine, bear in mind this has never been started before. We've literally only just put the oil in it. There's no choke, so all we need to do is to pull in this lever here, so that will enable us to start the engine. To stop the engine, we just let go, so that controls the engine, and this lever at the back is our self-propelled, so this will make the mower go forward when the blades are turning. So I'm going to pull this in. Might take 2 or 3 pulls the first time because we've just got to get the fuel through, so just give it a gentle pull. Oh, first one, look at that, and then the lever in and away we go. So there you have it, a fantastic mower, really easy to get running and makes a smashing job. And of course when you have finished with it, it's got a wash port just here. So if you've got grass all caked on the underside of it, while the engine and the blades are going around, just stick a hose pipe on there, let it run for a minute or two, and that will wash everything off and leave it nice and clean. So there it is, enjoy it and hope your lawn looks great after you've mown it.
Remember to register your Cobra online at www.cobragarden.co.uk. Always have your Cobra serviced regularly. Check the website for your nearest dealer.